The sticker price is $83,795. Let's see what else you get for that price. Now up here with our upper console, we're going to have a few different things we can work with. You've got your lighting. Obviously, if you want to turn that on, you can do that right there. And then we have the control right here. That's what I was telling you about earlier for the power shade and the power sunroof, if you want to take advantage of that. And we'll work our way down here to the glove box. You can also see some of the ambient lighting elements. That glove box is locked, so can't show you inside there, but I don't think anyone's too worried about that. On the passenger side door panel over there, number one, we're going to have the controls for our heated and ventilated seats. That's going to be up there in front of the seat controls as far as positioning everything that are in the shape of a seat. If you didn't notice that, you won't ever unnotice it now. Plus, you have seat memory. I really like that. It should be on the passenger side if it's on the driver's side. Again, the nice large armrest there and the nice large door bin. Plenty of space in those areas. Now, let me grab the camera and we will come over here to the driver's side and take a look at what we have. Once again, we're going to have seat memory, seat controls, and by the way, you have the thigh support right here. That area actually comes forward. See if I can show you real fast how that works. See it moving back right there. So you have a lot of adjustability built into these front seats. And then you have, again, the heated seats, 3 stages of heated, 3 stages of ventilated, and all of your other controls here. This is the button I pushed earlier to fold those side view mirrors in. And then obviously you choose the right or left side view mirrors and adjust everything here. You're going to have one touch down, one touch up at all 4 doors. And here's your power parking brake, and then everything for your lights right here. You can just leave that on auto. You can turn them on, you can turn them off, whatever it is you want to do. And right here is the control for the tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. It does have the nice paddle shifters on the back of it for gearing up and gearing down. Here is your shifter. So we just put our foot on the brake. We can go into drive. We can go into reverse, whatever we need to do there. You push the button on the end right here to go into park. Now, as far as your steering wheel mounted controls go, everything over here will help you manage the center screen. As you can see right there, we can adjust things, we can select things, we can go home, whatever we want to do. On the left-hand side, you can do the same thing for the driver's display. Now, if I hit home, here's what comes up, the different options as far as what we can choose, depending on what we want to see or how we want things to look on the driver's display itself. If you want navigation, there it is. You can bring that up right there. Very nice, very easy to see and read. You have a few different options where all of this is concerned. It just depends on what your needs or wants are. Personally, that is going to be my favorite right there. And before we move on, here's everything for your wipers, your front and rear wipers, and your turn signal indicators for those who have attended the 4 years of turn signal school, so you know how to use them. Now, the infotainment screen right here, the MBUX or Mercedes Benz user experience. You can talk to Mercedes anytime you want to and ask a myriad of questions and take care of a lot of things that way. You can see what all we have here. Quite a few different features as far as what is available. You can wirelessly pair your smartphone, and we'll go in here to our apps just to show you what's here. Not a lot going on in this particular case, but in case you were wondering what's there, well, now you know. We'll come back over here to comfort. There are a few things you can do here. You've got your seat kinetics, heating settings, your automatic seat positioning, and then you can reset things if you want to. You can also come in here and change your ambient lighting. Now, if it's not bright enough, here's where you come to fix that. Or if it's too bright, you can decrease that. It just depends on what your desire is. Here are the colors. And like I said earlier, I told you there were 64 colors. If you didn't believe me, there you go. There it is, 64 right there. The blue tends to show up the best when we're outside like we are today, but you do have the monochrome or the multicolor, depending on what you want to select. You can do that and make changes accordingly. I like that Mercedes-Benz has a little something for everybody where that is concerned. You can also go to your effects right here, depending on what you want. You can turn those on and off. Then we'll come back here and go over here. You do have some light off-roading capability with this model, so there's some details and information you're going to find right here, depending on what you need to know about. or what the situation is. You can just come in here and select whatever you need to, turn things on and off. You can even see a little bit easier getting rid of the hood and all of that right there and see what's going on. There are quite a few different cameras here depending on what you need to see. As I told you earlier in the video, here are our camera views. So if I want to change my view, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to select right there. We can select the front view camera. You can obviously select the rear view camera. We can see on the sides. There's a lot going on here. It just depends on what you need and what you want. Now, info. I like the graphics here and how nice they are. Very vibrant, bright graphics. If you want to know about consumption, all of that information is here. We can go to vehicle and see a few things going on here. Now, if I touch the accelerator, you'll notice that the percentage will change on the screen. Or if I touch the brake, that will also do the same thing. So you can see a lot of neat little details here also with the engine depending on what you want. Push the pedal a little bit there so you can see what's going on as far as that is concerned. In my opinion, this is some of the best technology in the industry. And then if you need to manage your devices, this is where you're going to do that. And you can see that Apple CarPlay is here. Android Auto is here too. So that's going to work just fine. Now I'm going to go into reverse just so you can see what comes up on the screen. Basically what you've already seen, but in case anybody wanted to know, now you know. And we'll work our way down. I do like the design with our air conditioning vents. There's no shortage of those here in the front seating area. There's actually a total of 6, 4 in the center and 1 on each side. All of your controls are here for your dual zone climate control. So if you need to control that, you can do that. Now, one thing that I think should be different, notice that when I push on this, it doesn't do anything. It seems like it should. You shouldn't have to manually open and close this area. Maybe not a big deal for a lot of people, but just one of those things that it just seems like at this price point should be different. Tell me what you think about that. There's your wireless charging pad, USB right here. And then we have our cup holders, a little bit more ambient lighting in there. Now, one thing to note here, right here is your trackpad. So if you had an older Mercedes that didn't have a touch screen, you might be so used to the trackpad that you want to use that, or you're like Monk and you don't want to get fingerprints on your screen. But that is the situation as far as that goes, so you can use that. Right here is the drive mode selector. Let's go through those driving modes. We can go through Sport, Comfort, Eco. You do have the off-road mode, and you also have individual up here. If you want to take advantage of that, you can come in here and make changes to quite a few different aspects of the vehicle. It just depends on what you want, but it doesn't all have to be the same. Everything doesn't necessarily have to be sport. It just depends on what you want. Maybe you want something to be sport and something else to be comfort, such as the steering. Just depends on your situation and your wants. Now, what I did right here was use this control to manage that. So that's how you're going to do that. Here's how I brought up the cameras. You can push this right here and the vehicle information will come up. We'll show you that on the screen real quick because there are a few different things there. It just depends on what you're looking for. You might have to just use the hunt and peck method and figure it out, because this isn't really complicated, but there are a few things that you might say, well, I don't know where that is. So you might use this area to get to that. It just depends. And you can see what else we have here as far as the different buttons go. You can adjust your volume right here. And if you're wondering what this is, that's actually to rest your hand on to make it easier to use that trackpad right there. You'll see on the inside, or outside, I should say, of the grab handle right here, we've got more ambient lighting. It is literally all over the interior. We do have a little bit of gloss black here, so be careful not to fingerprint that up with your piano fingers if you have piano fingers. Little storage right here, and something that is very common to Mercedes Benz, the Bombay doors. I'm going to push the button right here, and they open right up. There is a little bit of space in there, and another USB port.